Hi, I'm Kay Dean, and this is Fake Review Watch. I recently produced a video on fake Trustpilot reviews for UK businesses, and I used the building supply company Insulationbee as a case study. Well, it turns out that Insulationbee is just one in a network of businesses worldwide receiving fake Google reviews. Let's take a look. Sergio Bale is the founder and CEO of Insulationbee, according to his LinkedIn profile. Here's his Facebook profile. You can see it links him to Insulationbee. Bale is a member of Facebook groups organized to buy, sell, and trade online reviews. He's also soliciting here for Trustpilot, Google, and Facebook reviews, and mentions that although he's in the UK, he'll exchange with people from other countries. Here are Bale's Google and Trustpilot profiles. He appears to use these profiles to give reviews to other businesses and trades for reviews for his own business. Here are the Google reviews provided by Bale using the Insulationbee Google profile. You can see that he's reviewed businesses from all over the world, which is a little suspicious. Insulationbee has a stellar 4.9 rating on Google based on 125 reviews. Let's plot some of the company's reviewers on a spreadsheet and see what that shows us. Across the top of this spreadsheet are 32 Google reviewers of Insulationbee, along with Insulationbee's own Google profile on the right. Down the left side are other businesses reviewed by these same profiles. The businesses are from the UK, other European countries, the United States, Canada, and India. Look at the overlap in the businesses reviewed by these same people. Of the 32 reviewers of Insulationbee, for example, 16 also reviewed the same Italian electrical services company. 8 reviewed the same dry cleaners in New York. And 8 reviewed the same clock shop in Prague. 8 even reviewed the same Six Sigma consultant in India. Note also that Insulationbee itself has reviewed the Italian electrical service company, the New York dry cleaners, and the Prague clock shop. 5 people: Irene, Israel, Kylie, Robin, and Alec all apparently use the same building supply company in Manchester, the same dry cleaners in New York City, and the same Massachusetts dentist. And someone at Insulationbee in the UK also uses that same New York dry cleaners and the same Massachusetts dentist. Amazing! Clearly, this spreadsheet reveals some very suspicious patterns that Google should be able to see. Let's take a closer look at 4 of our Insulationbee reviewers: Israel Fernandez, Zalu Mao, Patrick Perzak, and Vilami Virta. Fernandez appears to be associated with U-Calls in San Diego, and Perzak with Watchmaker's Clock Gallery in Prague. These 4 all appear to have traded reviews with Sergio Bale, CEO of Insulationbee. We'll start with Israel Fernandez. Here he is on Facebook wanting to exchange Facebook, Google, or Trustpilot reviews. After analyzing Fernandez's Google, Trustpilot, and Yelp review history, I believe he is trading reviews on behalf of U-Calls, an answering service in San Diego. Let me show you an example. In September 2020, Fernandez provided the Google review at the top to Insulationbee. Notice the business owner responded to the bogus review. Below, he also provided this Trustpilot review. Note the date on the Trustpilot review as September 9th, 2020. In return, Sergio Bale, CEO of Insulationbee, provided the Google review at the top to U-Calls and the Trustpilot review at the bottom. Again, note that the reviews were traded on the same day, September 9th, 2020. Our next Insulationbee reviewer is Zalu Mao. His Facebook profile says he is CEO at Pandours and that he is a travel expert. Here are some of Zalu's photos from his Facebook profile. Note the one I've highlighted. Here's his Google review of Insulationbee posted in October 2020. Note the photo is the same as on his Facebook profile, which ties him to Pandours. And here in response is Sergio Bale's Trustpilot review of Pandours Travel from October 2020. Next, we have Patrick Perzak, who appears to be the proprietor of a clock gallery in Prague.
Note that he is also a member of Facebook review trading groups. Here's Perzak's Google review of Insulationbee provided 11 months ago. In return, Insulationbee provided this Google review of the Prague clock gallery. And the last trade I'll show you was with Viljami Virta, a young man from Finland who started boardie golf by selling used golf balls. In October 2020, Virta gave Insulationbee this Google review. And in return, also in October 2020, Sergio Balle gave boardie golf this Trustpilot review. So there certainly appears to be some trading of Google and Trustpilot reviews going on, likely via Facebook review exchange groups. I now want to revisit our spreadsheet and point out something else.
Earlier, I pointed out patterns of reviews on this spreadsheet that were suspicious. But even businesses listed here with fewer reviews are suspect. For example, New York orthopedic surgeon Mark Moorman has only 2 reviews on this spreadsheet, but he's received numerous fake Google and Yelp reviews and has figured prominently in 2 of my videos. Just above is 123 Financials, a London accounting business. They also have only 2 reviews here, but one is from Israel Fernandez, who we've just discussed, and the other one is from John Peterson. John Peterson is a Google profile used for review trading by a manager at a Canadian marketing company, as I've shown in a previous video. Also, once I know a Google profile is posting fake reviews, every business reviewed by that person becomes suspect. Take Irene Berrigan, for example. We've seen that Irene is one of 5 people listed here who buy from the same building supplier in the UK, use the same New York dry cleaners, and use the same Massachusetts dentist. But let's scroll down. Here are a bunch of businesses that have been reviewed only by Irene, so there's no suspicious overlap in reviews. Since they have been reviewed by Irene, however, they deserve further scrutiny. We're now on Google looking at Irene Berrigan's reviews, and I'll point out a few of the businesses that were on our spreadsheet. Look at the far-flung locations of these businesses, which is suspicious in itself, from a plumber in California, to a plumber in Virginia, to a wellness center in Ireland. Oh, there's Insulationbee. To a PhD research service in India, to a doctor in Singapore. Finally, over here we see she's reviewed a Boost Mobile retailer in Connecticut. I have independent information indicating that this retailer is receiving fake Yelp and Google reviews and have produced a video on it.
In summary, this spreadsheet represents one small section of pollution in a sea of Google reviews. Unfortunately, this sea has a multitude of other polluted areas and they overlap with each other. Unless you take the time to do the research I've done, you can't see all of the pollution in that sea of Google reviews. But Google can. They just don't tell you about it. And clearly they do a poor job of cleaning it up. So think again before fishing through Google reviews for trustworthy information.